because today, after 466 days and 50,000 plus people dead, murdered, we have a ceasefire. Now, the reason why them people are in my bin, because they've been funding this thing for the last 14 months and the last 466 days. And the ceasefire deal that has been reached is the same ceasefire deal that was put to the table 8 months ago.
Yeah. Nonsense.
So they're all in a bin.
Can't even celebrate the ceasefire because of all the shenanigans and nonsense and disgusting murder that's happened. Can't even be jubilant because there's still conditions, isn't there? There's still like, if they don't reach a certain...
Hold on, I've got it.
You've
Please
got
bear with me, caller. I do have the facts. So it's a 16-week cessation of hostilities. In that time, Israel military must withdraw from within 700 meters of inside Gaza. 33 Israeli captives and about 2,000 Palestinian prisoners must be released. Israel allows the wounded Palestinians to leave Gaza for treatment, and the Rafah crossing is to open within 7 days. There's also a 3 to 5 year reconstruction plan for Gaza, an exchange of the rest of the captives in Gaza for more Palestinian prisoners, and the exchange of bodies killed for Israel and for Palestine, and the eventual full withdrawal from Israel from Gaza. That is what has been put to the table today.
There was something about it. If they don't have something about their leadership within 42 days,
if they don't change over
or something like that. Something about the leadership.
The leadership needs to change. Basically, as Westerners always do.
Yeah.
The Western powers, they always try and change out the leaders.
One that would be a puppet for them.
That, in effect,
for Israel,
can't be run by Hamas. So they want a new political system to come into place for this to be sustained.
Otherwise, they'll go back in again.
Yeah, and part of the deal is that they have to remove themselves from the crossings that they have. So they've taken over a section which, in one of the deals that Bill Clinton did years ago, they all confirmed. But so they have to move away from that as well. They have to do a lot of things. I just don't know if they're going to do it. I'd like to think that they do, and I'm glad that this is some respite for the Palestinians because they have really gone through the worst in the last 466 days, and the bodies are still going to be counted. Because there's people unaccounted for, tens of thousands of people unaccounted for.
What's the perspective of the war from Jamaica? Is there any kind of, is it?
Well, actually, you don't have that perspective. You're still using the internet and you're still using that because the news is the news that this is happening, that's happening, but no one's really in that way vocal. So not vocal, but in terms of what our government is doing. So for me, I would be getting the news from social media,
everybody,
like that. And watching LA in the last couple of days and seeing people land flattened, and people homeless, and people devastated, and having to think about that when we're thinking about war, and people kind of having to really separate, like, oh, but that's LA. That's sad. But now they both look like war-torn.
Yep.
And people are now starting to recognise that, wait a minute, this is what you did to yourselves.
Yeah.
You chose to do this. And I really do think that there's a big, huge karma on the world right now. For all those who sat by and just thought, but that's nothing to do with us. It's for them, it's for us, this is for this. And this is where ignorance is really so dangerous right now. Because today for me, tomorrow for you. Don't think that we can't go to war tomorrow. Don't think that we can't have a fire, we can't have a
nuclear strike.
We could have anything, nuclear, anything could happen right now. We're not safe in the world right now. So everybody right now, ceasefire is great. It's great. But it doesn't mean that you're moving forward in the right way yet. Because you just stopped doesn't mean that you're stopping for the right reasons. And those are the issues that, So,
absolutely. Because 100%. The occupation still exists.
Yeah.
And what this has done is expose really what the powers in the world are up to and what they think is important and what they don't think is important. They don't value human life as much as we probably thought that they would. It's wicked. It's wicked. And it's also, if you look at Biden again, he said that each person in LA is entitled to, I think it's $766.
A one-off payment.
A one-off payment.
$766.
Yeah, a one-off payment. That's what they get.
A one-off payment. Yeah. Now, in the last 14 months, he sent, I think it's like 83 billion or something like that to Gaza for them to fund, not to Gaza, sorry, to Israel. For their weapons. That's what he sent. And then he's given the people in LA $766.
But is that to move out of LA? Because this is the thing. Right. It doesn't mean rebuild.
No.
It can mean going somewhere else. And
that's a shopping bill. That's what he said.
That's
it's for shopping bill. For amenities. It's for water and resources. It's not
700.
It's not.
But mind you, Congress is still trying to block it though. Do you know what I mean?
Payment.
Even they don't want to put it through. He's hoping that they'll put it through
because he's out of government soon.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, basically.
And he got like 5 days.
He's got about 5 days.
The annoying thing about this ceasefire is because Trump was like, he said, "I'm going to rain holy hellfire on Israel if there is not a not on Israel, on Gaza if there's not a ceasefire." So it's like he's now going to take the credit. He's inaugurating in like 5 days. He's going to take the credit.
They're both trying to take the credit, which is the problem.
And then you know what? Trump's going to be big and ballsy with it. And be like, yes, it was me. It was down to me. And people are saying that.
Even in some of the press reports, it's like President-elect Donald Trump has confirmed the ceasefire. KHALED's also in the bin for me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Give
because
it to
he came online and he said, prayers for LA. Yeah, prayers for LA, but you're Palestinian. I ain't seen you say shit.
He hasn't.
Nothing
at all.
Never.
Nothing. Not a single comment in this whole time.
I really think it's out of order. Because even if you're not born in Palestine, but he is a Palestinian man.
He's a Palestinian.
He has a house there as well. That your homeland is being bombed to smithereens. People are destitute, literally dying in their thousands. And you don't say even I'm praying for my homeland.
Nothing.
Just a simple, is money really that valuable?
For them, yes.
Apparently he tweeted in 21, he made a post about pray for Palestine, and that was it. Nothing since.
But it wasn't
even,
it wasn't even individual. It was pray for light and love and light to my Palestinians and everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like it was just
someone that's
for Palestine. You know, he's a very, very prominent figure. Mm-hmm. He could have been saying so much. He could have just one tweet would have done a lot. You've got like Macklemore and all these people, Kalani, just to name 2 people that have come out and said stuff and like raised the issue on their platform. He's Palestinian. Mm. Do you think that something could be going on in Grenada and I'm just sitting on this pod saying nothing? Mm. You'd have to stop me from talking.
100.
It's crazy.
But who are their bosses?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's it. That's the problem.
I think it's complicated.
They've sold their soul.
I think he's in a position. I think he's in a position, and I think he's been beholden to that position, and he's chosen not to say anything because he knows it's the safest bet, right or wrong.
I think that is exactly what's happened, but it's wrong.
I'm not calling it wrong.
I'm not disputing the issue of why he's being silent. I understand that he's silent because there's a lot to be lost for him, innit? But that's your people.
What about?
How do you not say anything?
I was just about to say, what's he doing behind the scenes? Is he doing anything behind the scenes?
Some people are doing stuff behind the scenes and can't say nothing. Mm-hmm. It's sad. It's wrong.
No, it's true.
Right
you
now,
are right.
Everybody's in a position, scared of cancel, scared of this. If I say this, I say that. It's a really sad time for a lot of people, and it's weak.
Yeah,
it's weak. We've become weak as a society where we can't actually go, I want to say this, and it doesn't affect my life.
Yeah,
or expanding. If it's weak, or is it if he's got roots in Palestine still and family ties in Palestine? I wonder what that is. I don't know. I actually know nothing about DJ Khaled.
And I think that's by design. Do you know what I mean? Because his people could directly be targeted if he speaks. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know.
I don't know.
So I think people might have their reasons. We just don't know. Do you know what I mean? And I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt just because of his... I'm going to say his brand, but like, do you know what I mean? In terms of like giving and gratitude and all that kind of stuff.
You have to say that about everybody then, because everybody's tied to something in some way.
But I think it's levels though. I think it depends on levels, because this is dealing with destruction and we're calling it genocide. So, and is genocide visible? We're seeing people being obliterated. So if he does have ties there and family there, and I don't know. There's a window where, and again, we just don't know. It's very easy to say, on the front facing, you should say something. But I think I said it before. There's something about just speaking up. Unless they're speaking up, okay, I tweet, pray for Palestine. This is bad. And then what? What are you, and especially
Do something.
As a Palestinian,
do something. And I hear what both of you are saying, but I just still think it is wrong. I think it's disgusting that he has not said anything, but he's going on and doing shit, having black men carry him out of his car, talk about his fucking sneakers, shit like that. He's out everywhere doing everything all the time. At the very least, it's tone deaf.
Yeah,
at the very
there's
least.
things that he's doing that's tone deaf. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying I think that there's something different about having roots in a place that's being obliterated and family, and maybe that's why he feels like, you know what, it's best I don't say anything on that. Maybe he's doing stuff behind the scenes. I don't know.
You know why it's not okay to not talk about it? Because for years you couldn't talk about Palestine without losing everything for many years. And the change has kind of come about in the last, let's say, 4 years. And that's from Bella Hadid really losing stuff and talking. So when you have an atrocity that's going on in your homeland, and you know, me not shedding a light on this, and maybe I'm going to lose something, but if I do it, then other people are like, you know what? I've got to talk about it as well.
Showing solidarity.
It snowballs. Yeah. So him not talking, that is detrimental. It is fuckeries because you are a Palestinian man. And there isn't too many Palestinians that made it out of Palestine. So the fact that you have, and you're one of the richest and most influential, it's disgusting for you not to talk.
Because what it does is, as well, it does shed a light on what's happening there, and it makes people actually research, because this whole thing of what was the rhetoric of, oh, it's too complicated, I don't know what's going on there, blah, blah. People have actually taken the time now to actually look at the history of the conflict and to understand that it started 76 years ago. And beyond that, with the Balfour Convention, like all the British giving Palestine to the Israelis and saying this is going to be a home. This is going to be a home for the Jewish community, which is, on one hand, they were trying to get rid of them from Europe. That's really what it was. It wasn't for the benefit of those people.
No.
They didn't want to deal with it after what was happening. The atrocities that were happening in Europe that was caused by Europeans. They didn't want to deal with that shit. But people don't do that research before. You're just fed, oh, it's complicated. And that's what you go along with.
Scared of being cancelled.
By talking about, even us here on this platform, it's opened up people's knowledge. And that's not to say that we're all experts, but us just vocalising certain things, it's opened that up, and people have gone and they've looked into it and they've learnt a little bit more. I have seen images in the last 14 months that I will never, ever unsee.
Yeah.
I will never unsee that shit.
Who's going to me? All right.